Hi, this is Adrian Meleto from Meleto's Revolutionary Remedies. And in today's video, we're going to talk about pandemic safety tips. And we're going to go over a few things. First thing is we're going to go over ways to build up your immunity to make it more difficult for you to get sick. Second, we're going to talk about some essentials, some equipment, some suggested equipment. And finally, after that, we're going to talk about some natural remedies and things to have handy on hand that could help you should a situation become much more grave. I did make a video on this 5.5 weeks ago. I did give some advice and some of it did start to come to fruition. At that point in time, the majority of the population didn't think it was gonna get as bad as it gets now. Now it's kind of like a shopping frenzy. Everybody's panic buying. So that's why I can never stress enough the importance of preparedness and being prepared. And the first thing to do is you need to build up your immunity and make it more difficult for your body to get sick, and make it more difficult for, if you do get infected, make it more difficult for the germ, the virus, or whatever it is to take hold of your body and, infect you more deeply. And first thing would be is to make sure you're getting enough of your micronutrients and vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc. There's a correlation with the vitamin D and the flu season. The angle of the sun and etc. You're getting enough vitamin D. Probiotics in your gut flora, there's a big correlation with your immune system. A lot of your immunity is correlated with how good your gut flora is. So probiotics is very important. And silver, colloidal silver. There's two forms. There's basically like straight up where you can just take it sublingual, so it doesn't get filtered if you swallow it. It's a lot more bioavailable. There's a lot of misconception about silver, where it will cause the agria, however you pronounce it, the blue man syndrome. But that's more like if you take it in unbelievable high quantities, and if it's like a very low quality where it's more like silver proteins instead of like very tiny nanoparts per million, true colloidal silver, it's virtually impossible to turn blue if you get the proper one. And the silver will will mechanically obstruct the virus and the virions in the legs from infecting the cell and causing them to multiply. And there's also the silver spray, nasal spray, which usually, most of the time, not always, because certain viruses, airborne, can also infect you through the eyes, but the grand majority of the time is through your nostrils, and having a little bit of silver in here will also help. These I sell in my office, in my web store. I'm not getting paid by any company to endorse this. These are my own products. And if you do end up getting sick, custom Chinese herbal remedy, which I have developed, is also very useful. I have a whole video on this, so if you want more information on this, you could look at the page on my website, maniacupuncturtherapy.com, or if you look into my YouTube library, you go back, I think it was January 2019, I did make a video on this one. So you can take a look at that. And some of the equipment, there's some basic things like cavity wipes. I know a lot of like the hand sanitizers and the wipes are just flying off the shelves. I'm not so sure if that's strong enough. Actually, I am sure I mean, based on like medical standards in an office and cleanliness, we do have to have something a little stronger than that. And then we carry cabinet wipes, and I don't get paid any sponsorships for this. This just happens to be the brand that I use, but it's one of the standard ones that's used, and it's very good for surfaces. Now, between every patient and even like the doorknobs, where there's not that much traffic, I'll just go and wipe it with one of these. A few weeks ago, I ordered a couple cases of these. Bleach. Bleach is very useful if things get to where it's really like contagion, when things are shutting down that you can't even go to schools because it's so bad. I mean, right now it's not at that level, at least here locally where I am, but you never know. I mean, probably in Milan, Italy, all those people probably a week before, 2 weeks before, had probably couldn't imagine that they're gonna be in such a quarantine the way they are. So these things could just blow up at any given time. So it's better to be prepared and nothing happen than to have something happen and not be prepared. So bleach is something to have on hand if you need to decontaminate something. If you need to like dip something to decontaminate it, or even make like a spray with it. The standard formula is a 1/4 cup of bleach for every gallon of water. You do that, and that will kill virus, and it should be good for decontaminating everything. If you run out of toilet paper and there's nothing in the stores, or the stores are closed everywhere, with a rag and with the formula of bleach and water, you're good to go to reuse over and over. As long as like you clean, etc. As far as masks, a lot of people are buying the N95s. This is the N95. Mine just happens to look cool. I always keep these handy in my car because you never know. And I wouldn't say they're 100% foolproof for something like this, but they do help, and they bring the probability and the percentage of probability less. So it's better than nothing. It might not filter the smallest virus particles, but a lot of times like the small virus particles will piggyback on other substances and cling on, and sometimes this mask will at least filter that. Now I know it's not gonna, like, if you don't have like a face seal, it's not gonna completely seal if it goes through here, but at least general aerosols, at least it'll help and bring your probability of getting something to a little less. And then as long as you have something to like clean the edges every time, like you touch something, or if you have to touch your face or anything like that, or you touch something, then you could always like clean yourself. Now, even though locally we're not in such an extreme contagion scenario yet, you never know when the possibility is going to arise when you're going to need a CBRN mask, which CBRN stands for chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear. And it'll be like this, and it has like a full face seal, so when you put it on, it's completely pressed. And once you put one of these on and you screw it on and you don't remove the label thing yet, you screw it on like this, and then you try it on, and if you can't breathe, like it's like suction, then that means you have a good seal. And then the only way you will be able to breathe and to know how to use these is you have to open this up. I'm not going to open this now, because once I open this, then the clock starts ticking as far as the expiration, and like it's going to start decontaminating like the air around me. So these things are good, even like if you're in an area and there's like a forest fire or anything like that. It'll certainly, for carbon monoxide or anything like that. And these are always good to keep handy. And the time to buy them was last year. Because right now, these are going for like twice as much everywhere as what they normally go for. So it's always good to have these things handy. And some people might see someone talking about these type of masks as something, exaggerating. Oh, that's too much. Having gas masks and things like that. But we never know what's gonna happen, what's gonna come up. Maybe nothing will happen, and that's perfectly fine. But what if something does happen? Then what? It's not like you're gonna be able to run to Walmart and get one. Well, and before I forget to mention, if you do get one of those things, this is a positive pressure thing, which when you do have that mask on for a while, since you're breathing through a filter, you're literally sucking in air and out. So since you're not like, you might get a little tired, like trying to push your breathing. This gives a positive pressure, so you don't have to like put so much effort in forcing air in and out. So kind of makes it easier. So like you put it in front of the opening of the filter, you put it here, and then fasten it on, and you're good to go. So those are some of the things. Hope I didn't leave anything out, any ideas out, but for you to keep in mind, if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, any additions, anything you want to add on to it, just leave a comment below. Hopefully this video will stay up. The last one I put up regarding this was taken down by YouTube. I don't know why. It just said terms of service, so they didn't elaborate. So I don't know if they're like censoring small channels that talk about the C word. Yeah, stay tuned for the good stuff. Subscribe and click the bell notifications. I'll see you in the next video.